Hello, welcome to day 6, writing. We are moving on from Oliver's vegetables this week, but we are still thinking about food, and you're going to be writing some poetry. What I would like you to do though is to go back and listen to Oliver's vegetables again, all the different foods in there and the different flavors and experiences that Oliver has when he's trying the foods. That's going to help you with the rest of our work. I'm going to put the story in here again for us, so I hope you enjoy. And then after that, we'll move on to our writing.
"Finish up, Oliver," said his mum, "or we'll miss the bus." "Can't we walk to Grandpa's house?" asked Oliver. "No," said his mother. "It's too far. Hurry up." The best thing about Grandpa's house was the wonderful garden. "I grow all my own vegetables," Grandpa said proudly. "I don't eat vegetables," Oliver told Grandpa. "I only eat chips." "If you want chips," said Grandpa, "you must find the potatoes. If you find something else, you eat that, and no complaints. Is it a bargain?" Oliver ran round the garden, but he couldn't see any potatoes. "They must be hiding," he said, and pulled at the nearest leaves. "Carrots," said Grandpa. "Just the thing for Monday lunch." Oliver ate his first carrots for lunch. Oliver took a long time making up his mind on Tuesday. Gran and Grandpa came to watch him. "Those crinkly leaves are pretty," he said at last. "Are the potatoes there?" "Spinach," said Grandpa. They had spinach for supper. "Oh, that was good," said Oliver. On Wednesday, Oliver got up early. "Potatoes are very important," he said, "so they must have big leaves. Here they are." Grandpa smiled. "That's rhubarb." They had rhubarb pie that evening. "That was very good," said Oliver. It rained on Thursday. When it stopped, Oliver hurried outside. "Have you found the potatoes?" Grandpa asked. "No," said Oliver. "I've found slugs and snails." "Are they eating my potatoes?" Grandpa shook his head. "That's cabbage." Oliver had 2 helpings. "Very, very good," he said. On Friday, Oliver was sure that he had found the potatoes. When he pulled at the leaves, up came some beetroot. That night, Oliver ate all of his beetroot salad. "Very, very, very good," he said. On Saturday, Oliver played football. The ball landed in a tangle of sticks and leaves. Oliver was sure the potatoes weren't there, and Grandpa nodded. "Peas," he said. Oliver had 3 helpings of pea soup that evening. "Was that good?" asked Grandpa. "No," said Oliver. "It was delicious." Oliver rushed into the garden on Sunday. "Here they are." "How did you know?" asked Grandpa. "They were the only things left," said Oliver. "Can we have chips now?" Oliver asked. "You scrub the potatoes," said Gran, "and I'll peel them. Grandpa can cut them up." Oliver, Gran, and Grandpa sat down to eat. The door opened, and in walked Oliver's mother. She saw the plate of chips. "Oh dear, I did hope Oliver would eat something different while he was here," she said. Oliver and Grandpa looked at each other. His mother stared as they laughed and laughed and laughed.
Here's a sentence. He always quietly. Actually, it's not a sentence. Have a think about why that is not a sentence. He always quietly. What would we need to add to that sentence? We need a verb. We need to add in another word, a doing word, an action word, a verb, because he always quietly doesn't really tell us anything. What words then could we have in this space? He always something quietly. I'd like to try and think of 5 different words you could put into that gap. We could have he always eats quietly. He always walks quietly. He always speaks quietly. We could have lots and lots as long as it's a verb in there. So any of those would turn that into a proper sentence. A sentence must have a verb in it. I'd like to read the words below. This is on your page, and I want you to tick the words if they make sense. If they don't make sense, I want you to put a cross in here. And then I'd like to fix the ones that are wrong by writing them properly. I grow all my own vegetables. If you think that makes sense, put a tick in here. If you think it doesn't make sense, then put a cross. I only chips. I only chips. Does that make sense or not? Again, tick or a cross. You must find the potatoes. Does that one make sense? You must find the potatoes. And finally, on Wednesday, Oliver got early. Does that make sense or not? Well, I'm not going to do all of them with you, but one of the ones that does not make sense is this one here, I only chips. That's like the example that we had before. So I've asked you to fix the ones that are wrong by writing them properly. So what could we have here? I only chips. Well, that doesn't make sense. What could we have? I only eat chips. Could be one way to fix it. And I added the word eat in there. So if there are any more that don't make sense, you need to fix them and write those on the lines. Pause the video while you do that. Press play when you've finished this first part. So this week you're going to write some poems about food. I've found lots of different ways of writing poems, and each day there is an example, and I want you to do a poem that's a little bit like that, but with your ideas. To start off this week, I would like you to write to tell someone about your favourite foods and why you like them. And I've asked that you use because and some description. You don't have to use because in every sentence, but maybe in some of them. So have a think, what are some of your favourite foods? And let's have a look at these sentences down here, see how they might work. I love, you might say, I love apples. I love crunchy apples. Apples are quite different. I don't like green apples because I think they're too bitter, but I love red apples. So you might put, I love sweet red apples. One of my favorite things to eat is pizza. I also enjoy marshmallows. Now, we haven't put any description in there, so we could have something like, I also enjoy soft marshmallows because they are sweet and sticky. Or you could start your sentence with the name of a food. You might say, marshmallows are so delicious because they are soft and sticky. So different ways you could start your sentences. I don't just want you to write I like, I like, I like. That's going to be really boring to read. Good luck. Use these sentence starters to tell people what are your favourite foods, and I'll see you for the next lesson.